Well, again, everyone, I hope you're all doing extremely well out there, and there's some particularly special type of things to talk about on this update, because you know that retro video series video that was kind of working on, that was like, okay, working on the color grading of Michael Mann's Heat and all the different things like that. I was like, I shot it once, I shot it twice, it wasn't working and stuff like that. I had to push it aside and do other things. I got it fixed, I got it figured out, I got the whole thing redone. It's up on Patreon right now. It's going to be released very shortly on YouTube, but on Patreon, it's available right now. So, guys, I put a lot of work in that whole thing, about a month and a half on and off to kind of figure out how to present it, how to make the presentation work off the right way to make sure it was engaging, wasn't over long. It's under a half an hour. Before, it was getting too long, too drawn out. I was focusing on too many unnecessary technical details. I got a little more focused down and talking about just the way the thing keeps changing and the aesthetics of the entire film, all that type of stuff. So if you're interested to see it early, go up on Patreon, pay $3 for the whole month. You get some early access to the whole thing. Or you can wait until, I believe it's going to be Monday. I'll be releasing it then here on Patreon, on freaking YouTube for free and stuff like that. So good things on that. So I finally finished that. I was very much motivated to do that because a lot of the stuff, aside from the video I did on the Thing prequel, everything's been kind of underperforming that we put out this whole month, because we've been doing some fairly obscure commentaries. The John Carpenter's Body Bags, we thought maybe there was maybe a peak to find in there, but it really hasn't. So it's a little more obscure. And then UHF, that one really hasn't gotten the traction either. So thankfully, the big thing is me and Steve are circling back around, like we're finishing out the end of the month, end of the year. The last couple of months of the year are going to be hot stuff, man. All going to be like big titles, big things that we all know about, because next month, in September, we're doing Day of the Dead and Scream 6. So those are going to be the next two we record. It's going to be maybe a little longer before we get to that, because Steve's a little jammed up on his schedule until maybe about a third of the way into the month. We'll see how things work out. So might be a little longer wait to the next commentaries, but we'll try to get them out as fast as we can after we get them recorded. But so that's the plan for September. Now October, very interesting, because we're going to do John Carpenter's Vampires, which is going to be celebrating, I believe it is 25 years. I think it's 25 years. But the thing was, it was released on October 30th of 1998. So we're going to do a little earlier the month to kind of break it up for stuff we're going to do in November. But we're going to do Vampires earlier in the month. Then later in the month, we're doing a 45th anniversary commentary for Invasion of the Body Snatchers 78. I'm just getting my dates right. Okay, it is 45th anniversary, and that date is actually in December. But I felt it was a little weird to kind of do it in December. It's not really the type of thing to get the most traction out of it, I think. Put out when we're trying to do the holiday festives type of stuff. Figure if we put it in October, it's a good place to put it. Totally, feel-wise, all that type of stuff, and vibe-wise. And it breaks up the other thing we're going to do, because we're doing Vampires, we're going to do Body Snatchers 78. Then we're doing another anniversary commentary for another John Carpenter film in the beginning of November, which will be They Live. Now that's going to be, I believe, 35th anniversary, and that date is probably going to hit right on the money, right? I think it's on the 4th of November or something else like that, so we'll hit that pretty much on the spot, depending exactly when we get everything recorded in the bag and stuff like that, so we'll see about that, but that's the plan going forward. And then we will get to our commentary for Cujo in November, because the Kino 4K is being released near the end of October, so they'll give us roughly a couple of weeks to get the disc and kind of review things, look over the entire thing, because I still haven't watched the film. So we have it on the schedule. I haven't watched it. Steve's read the book. I think he's rewatched it since. Maybe he will when he gets the 4K, anything like that. But I still haven't watched the film, but we still have it dated, so we're doing this regardless. So I eventually have to see it, so I might snap it up on a streaming service beforehand and then get the 4K disc, and we'll do all that type of stuff. So that's our plan for the next 3 months, and don't want to get off December just yet. And it's a little too early to talk December stuff. It's a little too hot out right now. It's been hot this last week. We're getting lots of record-breaking heat around here, the Chicagoland territory and whatnot. It's been bad. It was really bad a couple of days ago. Cooled off a little bit today. Nice and mild or whatnot, but last couple of days was some fucking shit. So we want to wait a little longer before we tease the Christmas stuff, because we want to get to that mood. We feel like be putting up the Christmas decorations in fucking October. Put it away. Put it away. Don't put that stuff out in the freaking the stores and whatnot. Well, we'll wait until like November, October, November. They kind of talk about what we're going to do for that season and whatnot. But we got a variety. We got a good variety of certain things. Of course, the one thing we've kind of hit before, since we did the Poseidon Adventure for New Year's Eve last year, we'll be doing the Kurt Russell remake for New Year's Eve at the end of this year. But the stuff that's going on for the Christmas stuff, it's very, very special. So it's going to be cool stuff. So once we get past all this other stuff, we'll tease that once we get a little bit more primed up for it in that regard. But guys, cool type of stuff. I don't really know exactly what the next video is going to be because I have to start the research on the Exorcist stuff. But it's still kind of a little ways off. I'm still waiting. I'm not going to do the videos until I'm not going to do the video on the Exorcist until I have the 4K, so I can kind of comment on that in certain regards. I want to have the 4K, even though I can't rip anything from it. At least want to watch those versions to see the new masters and stuff like that. They kind of comment on certain things if I have to, and various other things like that. So I kind of want to wait for the 4K to hit and then do the video. But I can rip all the stuff off the disc and stuff like that beforehand and get all the things coupled together. I was actually able. Good thing to be looking on the Blu-ray.com forums for various random things. Someone got to point me to the festival cut of the Fear of God documentary that was up on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there, but someone uploaded the long version, the long version. That's not on the discs. There's a long version that has a Mark Kermode intro on the whole thing. So I grabbed that. I downloaded that. I have that to kind of review for the entire video. Just have that extra piece of footage and whatnot. The extra, as full details as I can get about the entire thing. I'll have that at my disposal. And then I'll use the actual stuff from the disc for the video and stuff like that to get it from the highest great sources and stuff like that. But cool thing. So still got some time to fill in, especially since if we're going to have some commentaries a little later get around to recording them a little later in the September than we plan to. I can kind of figure out what exactly the next thing to slot into everything is. So not sure yet. A lot of the stuff in terms of like this retro video sitting on the Star Wars stuff, the Blade Runner numerous versions. It's a little very time consuming, so I don't want to do something that's going to take like 2 weeks of fucking research to get up to it. I want to see if there's something else I can figure out beforehand. I'll figure it out in the next couple of days and whatnot, guys. So we've released all the commentaries we've recorded at this point, so I just kind of have to conjure up some other ideas for other things to go off of in different places here. So there's certainly I got a long list of reviews and whatnot I can tap on this whole thing, see if anything goes off in certain ways. I don't have many things on media pickups. I do have a minor thing or two, but I'll have to scroll through my entire list here to see what I can just strikes me off in certain ways. But kind of bought these not exactly together, but more or less together. My video on the Babylon 5 animated movie, The Road Home, didn't seem like another thing that really didn't do the traction I was hoping it would get there, but I grabbed it up and I did a video on it. If you're interested to know more about it, check out the video. If you want to know more about like the general kind of almost production history in a certain way of Babylon 5, one of my favorite channels here on YouTube is Secret Galaxy, Dan Larson. Fantastic stuff. He does all these. He writes and hosts all those different videos talking about like the pop culture and like Saturday morning cartoons and all these interesting things from the 80s and 90s, a little bit into the 2000s. But all these different shows and franchises, stuff like that. Fantastic. Go off and check his video about it. I thought he did a wonderful, clean-cut job. It kind of inspires me a little bit. I would like to be able to do something that's well produced, that well succinct and clear cut, stuff like that. If I ever go off and really kind of cover any TV series in any type of way in the future, I have a short list of things I'd like to, but it's a little bit on difficult type of things in terms of having the resources to do them and the time as well. But anything like that is like, he's a fabulous channel. I love it. Go check it out. Subscribe to him. Absolutely. Fantastic. Secret Galaxy. Go check it out. And the other thing I grabbed it because I wanted to make sure I got this on the release date, so I got a $1.99 Prime 1 week trial. They gave it to me, and so I got that. It was like, okay, well, I wanted to make sure I got it because I wasn't sure Best Buy would have them in stores. Apparently, they did. Not a lot of copies, but they did. But I just wanted to make sure I got it on the day so I could get into it the next day and produce the video and stuff like that. But I wanted to make sure I at least bought something else. And I just want to make sure I bought something else that kind of justified doing at least 2 purchases for the $1.99 thing, all that type of stuff. And Out for Justice went on sale on Blu-ray for $5 finally, so I grabbed that up because the Blu-ray is not fantastic. I've seen all the stuff. I've seen the caps and whatnot about the entire transfer. It's not fantastic, but it's way fucking better than the Laserdisc, way better than the DVD. So glad to have it. I'm glad to have it because I've got Marked for Death on Blu-ray. I've got a 3-pack with Above the Law, Under Siege 2, and I've got. I didn't upgrade Hard to Kill or anything like that because I don't like it that much, but I might bite on it if I ever find it for dirt cheap. But those are the only Seagal ones that Trent and I covered years ago that I've upgraded to Blu-ray since then and stuff like that. Because we record the old commentary off of the old DVD and stuff like that, but I really wanted to get an upgrade in this whole thing. Like I said, it's bare bones. It's not a great transfer, but it is a way better transfer than there is on the standard def and the analog formats and whatnot. So it's worth getting. If it's still on $5, if you're interested in it, go grab it. I definitely say it's worth a damn to do that. But that's really all I've got in terms of media pickups at this point in time. But I can tell you about the concert I went to last Saturday. Because I kept wanting to get around to doing this video, but I wanted to make sure I got that other video done, the retro video series thing on Heat, got that done before I did anything else, and get everything settled in. Because, like I said on the last update, I went to see The Warning, and this was fantastic. Never been to this venue. It's Bottom Lounge. It was pretty good. It's a pretty good thing. They had fantastic sound. The main thing is, like, when you have these venues where it's not like just a regular bar or whatnot, you go in and pay cover charge. We have something that's actually tickets and stuff like that that are sold. They have fantastic sound. They never let you down on the sound. Just really fantastic stuff. The place I went to for the Plush concert, fantastic sound. Same thing for this one. I did like the venue for the Plush one better because it had a bigger stage, better lighting, more dynamic lighting, better sight lines, stuff like that. But the one for The Warning it was just a unique experience. It's a much different type of venue in a certain way where everyone's kind of crowded in together, not a lot of room to work and stuff like that. So it's a little warm. You don't have any place to kind of lean over or something else like that. So I kind of stood up. I was very sore by the end of it. But the concert itself, the show itself, fantastic. The three of them are just fantastic. It's like they feel like seasoned pros on stage. Like they're born to be on stage. So much Danny, the front lady, the entire band, she's got such a stage presence. She knows the theatricality. She knows how to play the crowd. Knows how to just do everything. She's such a... Watching all their videos and whatnot in terms of like Instagram chats and stuff like that, they do, and a lot of the fan YouTube channels kind of port that over, put it up on YouTube, people to watch, do compilations. They're wonderful personalities. They're just so fun and electric and stuff like that. They're wonderful to watch. And Danny just has such a great way of just pumping up the crowd and working them and stuff like that. Great type of stuff. And again, over on my personal channel, I put up 4 different songs I shot in their entirety, and Warning Army turned out for it completely. They've been chugging away, pumping out the views and everything like that, leaving me great comments, all that type of stuff. They're really appreciative of it. And there's a couple of videos people have posted on YouTube from that show for Bottom Lounge. Apparently, I think the band played there last year as well. So I think I found, when I was looking at stuff for like Warning Bottom Lounge on Google or whatnot, I came up with like a 2022 date, stuff like that. But anything like that, just like, it was really fantastic. Every single song sounded absolutely phenomenally good. Like I said, the crew they have, the sound they had, everything like that, just came together completely professionally. Awesome type of stuff. Just everything on the Error album itself, it's just like one of those albums you can listen from start to finish. It's a complete breeze. There's no fall-off songs. It's a completely solid album from beginning to end. Sounds fantastic. Way better sonically, and so much more polished than the previous 2 albums, which were independent releases. This was our first kind of more major label type of thing. There are side 2 and stuff like that. So I did grab up one piece of merch. I was kind of betting around things as I was going on. They do have a specific tour T-shirt that's pre-order right now through the website, because I think they're going to wait until the entire tour is complete, and they're going to have all the confirmed dates that they played on the back of the shirt. So it's about $30. So I'm like, maybe I might grab that at a certain point in time. But the one thing I did grab was, which obviously I framed, was the tour poster, which was A3 size. It was a little bit wider than A3 when I finally got this frame off of Amazon, but looks fun, wonderful. Oddly enough, these are not the dates. It doesn't have the date of the show I went to. This is from the spring section of it where they actually were touring with Plush on many of the dates and whatnot for about a month or so. So this is all the stuff from May that they went through and stuff like that. But Plush, Holy Wars, a couple other things, they were just doing that tour together, and that's the one that didn't come around the Midwest and whatnot. I figured, like, what the hell? I like the poster. I want to have something from it. It's got Plush on it, which I already have the stuff for the signed set list. The photo collage I did, I made a photo collage from that show and printed it out and framed it across from the entire set list I have. So wonderful type of stuff in that regard. So this is going out pretty close to that whole thing. So pretty nice in that regard. And I was tempted to buy the CDs of the first two albums, but they're going for about $20 a piece at the show. And it's like, it's going to be a little more than I want to spend at the point in time and whatnot. I was maybe thinking maybe $30, $40 total. I kind of wanted the tour poster. And I was kind of thinking back and forth about, maybe they're actually $15.99 on the website, but when you factor in the shipping and the tax and stuff like that, it's probably less money to actually have bought it at the venue or whatnot. So I've been betting around so much the last week, like, getting the physical CDs. But the fact is, I bought Arrow on iTunes. Like, okay, why am I going to have the digital version of the newer one that I really, really like, and then just get the physical ones of the first two albums and have kind of an imbalance of that type of thing. So I kind of made a thing for myself. Okay, once you actually get this retro video series episode done of Heat and stuff like that, open myself up and actually purchase the two albums on iTunes, which I haven't done yet because I did some reshoots I put the thing up on Patreon earlier today. Then I went to work. Then I came home and had to do some edits and some alterations to the entire video to kind of fix it up and kind of get around a certain kind of bit of a thing with a copyright thing with a piece of music on the whole thing. So I had to make some alterations, and so I just finished actually putting the thing back in encode and whatnot. I have to upload it once I'm done here. So I will be buying the first two albums, which were 21st Century Blood and Queen of the Murder Scene. So I'm definitely buying those on iTunes. They are cheaper than the CDs. So I figure, okay, if I'm working on a certain budget and whatnot, I'm trying to make sure I'm not spending too much, I think that's a fair enough compromise for myself. And it was even after the Plush concert where I already had, again, their debut album on iTunes. I purchased it. It's like, I kind of want to get this physical one and stuff like that. But again, with the shipping and everything, it was about $20. Like, kind of really justify buying it. It was like, well, I've Metallica albums. I've already bought a couple of them because they've had Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. They put out I had the 90s versions that I had. These 24 karat gold remastered versions, and they had the more recent remaster. So I bought the thing 3 times on CD. So it was like, it's not unheard of for me to do that and stuff like that. And there's certainly other artists and whatnot that I've really, really liked their music so much that even if I bought maybe like a deluxe version on iTunes, but I actually went out and bought like the physical CD secondhand or something like that. Kind of that thing is like when you really, really love a certain artist and whatnot, you really want to have that physical thing in your hands to really kind of grasp onto, is like have a visual representation of it instead of just like files on your iPhone or something else like that. So just that kind of thing. But at least having the tour poster is a very strong thing for me. Just kind of like I can look at it all the time and get a value out of it and see that type of thing. It was only about $10, and then the frame was about $10 more. So I think that was a fair type of thing for me. So it was a fantastic show. Fantastic. Thing was, I knew they had a VIP meet and greet before the show, so I didn't think anything was going to happen after the show because they had the bus parked right outside. And after the show finished, I went off in the bar and whatnot. I just kind of sat down because my legs are all sore and shit like that. I was like, okay, let me take a time and whatnot to kind of collect myself and relax and decompress and stuff like that. And then I strolled outside. I was like, there's probably about 15, 20 people just kind of gathered around the bus. Like, okay, sure, I'll just wait around and see if anything happens. I was like, I don't think anything's going to happen. But I kind of waited around, and I kind of waited around, and I waited around. I was like, every time I kind of set another point in time, it was like, okay, I'll wait 10 minutes, and then I'll go. And it was like, someone else would kind of come out and kind of go in and out of the entire RV or whatnot, kind of like the crew or whatnot going in and out and stuff like that. And I'd reset the clock and the whole thing. But I waited there for 35, 40 minutes, and I just like, no, I got, one, I got to go, and two, like, no, they're definitely not coming out. It just seemed like, knowing that there's a VIP meet and greet where people paid a special premium price to attend, it would seem very duplicitous for them to come out after the show and give you a bunch of free autographs, free photographs, stuff like that. That just seems proper in that certain way. There's a certain protocol, whatnot. It just seems like that. I think you guys kind of understand that. I don't think I need to explain that to a wide degree or whatnot. I know there are a lot of people waiting around, but that once it starts withering out, it's like, just go. Just go. You got to go home. You got to rest and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. It's like, nah. I had a good time. I have no begrudge on the whole thing. It was kind of like, let me just see if anything happens. Why don't I just see? Even though I've got nothing for them to sign. I've got something for them to sign, but I have nothing to sign with. It's like, even if I had a black mark, if anyone could give me a black mark, where are you going to sign a black marker on this thing? There's nowhere. I need one of my silver markers that I have. Probably somewhere around here. I got a silver marker in here somewhere. Somewhere. I have one somewhere. But anything like that. It's like, well, my silver markers are all at home. This is not going to do me any good. So I was like, whatever. Even if they were to come out and just say, hey, I saw Plush last month. They are fantastic, incredible. I love both of your bands. I'd probably just give them compliments. That's probably all I do and whatnot. But yeah, I just had a feeling nothing was going to happen because of the situation and whatnot beforehand. Because it was like the thing when I went to the Michelle Branch concert last year. It was like, okay, there were a couple of people waiting outside. They probably didn't do the VIP meet and greet, but anything like that is like, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't burn me out or anything like that. It's like, whatever. So I'm going to move on from this whole thing. Because HEMI recently had another show, like I mentioned last time, but we're finally getting the videos out now. So you can go over to the HEMI YouTube page and see all the videos I shot for their last concert at the Livewire Lounge in Chicago. So they're going to have their 20th anniversary thing coming up on the 22nd of September, which I will also be attending and shooting video for. So that'll be interesting. They got again, like I said the last time, a couple bands they're very much familiar with, they've played with before, have a big celebration, and I don't know exactly what they have in store in terms of anything special for the set list, but they're definitely breaking out some other things they haven't played for a little bit of a while. So they've been mainly playing a lot of stuff, pretty much like beginning to end the Avalon album they put on 2018 with the last one they put out. So they've been kind of like trying to play the entire album so they make sure they get all the songs played live for themselves before they eventually move over to developing new songs and putting out new albums and stuff like that and promoting that maybe next year. We'll see what happens, but all that type of stuff. So that's going to be coming up in a little while, so you can go on the HEMI YouTube channel and see those videos and whatnot. You can also go on the personal channel for myself, link below, to see all the stuff I have for the warning that I shot with my iPhone. The other stuff at the HEMI concert was shot with this video and camera and stuff like that, so much better quality in that regard to a certain degree, but anything like that, hope you enjoy all that stuff altogether. So guys, that's all I have at this point in time. Like I said, I don't know what else video I'm going to be working on in due time, but once I have something, I'll post something on the community tab here on all the social media platforms I'm on, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, everything like that. I'm all over the place. I make myself not hard to find, so you can find me wherever you want to. Blue Sky and Threads are a little quiet for me at a certain point in time right now, but if you want to go on there, find me at RavensFilm and have some good times and just make it feel worthwhile to me. So guys, think that's all I really have to get off on this point in time. So guys, if you also, I should have put this earlier or whatnot, but we wanted to know if you guys wanted to see us do Conjuring commentaries. Because that was something Steve brought up a little while ago. It was like, well, the videos didn't do that hot when I covered them the last year or two. I might have mentioned this on a previous update, I don't know. But if you're interested in us covering the Conjuring films for a commentary series next year, let us know. And also because the Black Phone is coming out on 4K next month. It's the same day The Exorcist is coming out in 4K, so I've been waiting for this very long time. I was half convinced I was going over to Scream Factory because Scream Factory was handling a couple Universal things like Freaky and Happy Death Day and Ouija and stuff like that. I was half expecting them to get the license for that, but finally Universal is putting it out themselves on 4K. I think it has Dolby Vision and various other things, saying it's going to have all the same bonus features from the previous Blu-ray, but you're going to get it in HDR and all that other stuff in 4K on, I think, the 19th of September. So once that's out, Steve proposed that as being like a string of like maybe newer horror films we cover. And I was like, well, once the 4K comes out, because they had the Turbine Media one coming out in Germany, I feel like eventually it's got to drop here. That's on our tentative slate to eventually do a commentary properly for the Black Phone. So if you're interested in us doing a lot more newer horror films, please let us know and throw some suggestions, some requests or whatnot. And we'll see if we get around to them, see if there's something for us to discuss about it. We'd definitely be interested in various other things. So guys, throw that in the comments, all the type of stuff. Engage with us. Let us know on Twitter or anything else like that. Steve's not up on Threads or Blue Sky or whatnot, just on the usual places here and there. So hit us up and let us know what you think about that type of stuff. So definitely need a lot more stuff going into the next year, but we got some interesting things here and there. So guys, thanks much. Take care. Bye-bye.